I am creating this video to explain how the views can be manipulated, especially with respect to drawing. So let us say I have created a component and I would like to get the drawing of this component in. So I'll just say create a drawing and I'll say use model file name. So this helps me to ensure that whatever the file name I have given for the model, the same will be generated. I can give a common name. The common name, when you give a common name, it reflects in the windshield also. So for a drawing template, I will not use a default template. I will use an empty, or let us say I will use a template, and I will not use the company template. Instead, I will use an A3 size template as provided by PTC. So the moment I click on it, I get all the three views because it is coming from the template. But if you can see here, this is showing x dot x, x dot x double x. So which means this is the tolerance is set to ANSI standard. So we need to change this. If you are using the company standard, then you do not have to do all these things. Change, and the standard I will set it to ISO DIN. So the moment I set it to ISO DIN, this x dot x vanished. So having got my view, let me look at whatever is the principal, what is my principal view. So the first view, okay, so this is the first view. You can see here view template 1. So view 1, 2 and 3. So if I click on this, let us say all the views, I do not want hidden lines to be shown. So I can just say redefine them, and the view display, I can say no hidden, and so other things are solid, SLR, follow the environment. So no hidden lines are shown here. But now I want this to show a section view here. So I can either say redefine, or I can just say double click. Now if you see here, I am seeing the model view here, and there is a section AA created in this model. If the section AA, if it is not created in the model, one can also create a section view in the drawing. So whatever section view you create in the drawing gets reflected in the model also. We will have a look at it little later. So section, I say 2D cross section, and I have a valid section. So if section AA is not valid for this view, it will get a you will get a cross here. And I say full section. I can say arrow display. I want the arrow to be displayed here in this view, and I want a full section, full area section. I say apply. So the moment I say apply, I get the section view and the arrows also here. Here I'll say annotate, and I'll say show model annotation. So whatever annotations I have used in the model, it gets populated here. So out of which I say I want all of them, but I do not want this 360 degrees. So the moment I click on 360 degrees, whatever dimension is related to the 360 degrees, it gets unticked. Then I do not want a zero dimension here, and I do not want something else is coming here. Okay, there is another 360 here. So I do not want all these 360 degrees. Now moving to the next tab, there are no GD&T specified here, and there are two nodes. So I can click on one node, and there is another node that is 6 holes. So which is because the holes are a pattern of, it's a pattern of holes. and there are axes. So I can take, I will select all the axes, but if you see here, there are two holes here. So you will get two axes here. So which I need to remove. So I can select, if you go here, there are two axes. I will select this. So if you can see here, it is unticked. One more, I say apply, I will delete this. So with this, I have got all the dimensions. Whatever dimensions were there in the model, they have come here. We will now see how to arrange them. So I say I'll just filter out and I'll say select all the annotations and right click, or I can go to clean up dimensions here, or I can right click, I can get the clean up dimensions here. So clean up dimensions 12 and 10, break the witness lines, and I say apply. So if you see here, we have got snap lines and the dimensions have been arranged accordingly. Having done this, I can just stretch the dimensions and reposition them the way I want. Now I want the note to be shown in this view. So I can just click, I'll show you, do it once again. I'm selecting the note and I'm saying move to view. So this symbol, it indicates move to view and move to this view. So for me, this is the first hole in the pattern. So the notes by default it comes and it gets attached to this hole. Now this is a pattern of 6 holes. This is a pattern of 6 holes. So I get the 6 holes here. This number 6 is a parameter. So it is coming from the pattern parameter. So one should not go and edit this note and then put, say, count all the number of holes here and then put 6 numbers. No, that should not be the way. So what I can do is I can click on this and I can say edit. I can see here and P32 holes and P32 holes. So now with that information, I can just go here, edit, and before the note, I can say and P32 holes and enter, so that the note will come in the next line. So if you see here now, I have got the 6 holes, so and so, so and so, so and so. So with that information, I can now delete this information. So now when I change this number of holes from 6 to 8, this note will also change from 6 to 8. Now I also need an isometric drawing. So I'll just say, I'll go to the layout, I'll say general view, I'll say default all, and I'll put a isometric view. So this is the default orientation and I say apply. So with this default orientation, I am not able to see the counter bore. If you see here, there is a counter bore here, but I am not able to see the counter bore because the counter bore is hidden. So how to get the counter bore, how to display the counter bore? To display the counter bore, I need to reorient the model. So I can just go here, go to the model, and I'll reorient the model. Say I want to reorient the model to so and so position, this position. I'll hide the uh, annotations here. So in this view, I'm able to see that it is a counter bore hole. So instead of instead of redefining the default view, instead of redefining the default view, I'll say reorient and I'll just give a name. I'll say ISO drawing. ISO drawing is just a name. You can give whatever name that you is appropriate. ISO DRG view, and I'll say save. So I do not have to reorient by any orientation reference or anything. I can just give a name because this is how I have reoriented. This is what I need. And I say OK. So having done this, when I go to the drawing and put a general view here, I can see that I have a ISO drawing view and I say apply. So whatever view I created in the model, I get the same thing here. So I can now delete this view. Now having done this, I want to show a section which is passing a section view in the drawing. That is the same section AA I want to show here. So if I double click on this and say sections, 2D cross section, I cannot see. So AA is not allowed in this view. One may ask why, but then that is how it is. So to create a section view in the drawing, I need to go. Okay, here I am. I have switched on the planes. Now let me create the section view here. I'll say offset section. I want to draw I have to draw a sketch so that the sketch will get transformed into a plane. An extruded sketch transforms into a plane, two planes, and thus I get a section view. So I'll say I want to draw the section here on this plane. I can do the sketch setup and I say sketch view direction. I want it to be flip, or I can say the top should be, instead of top I can consider this as the front. So I get the right kind of correct orientation. So now if you see here, it is orienting me on the back side, but I want it on the front side. You can say flip. So now I get the correct orientation, and this is the front view. Front view is here, and I say instead of right, instead of left, I pick right. Okay, so the front is on the right hand side. So essentially, what we are doing is we are trying to see the positive side of the plane. A plane, like a number line, has both a positive side and a negative side. Since I want the line to cutting line to pass through this axis, come to the center and pass through the center of the hole. So I will take a reference of the hole. So whenever you take a reference of any hole, do not take the reference of the edge, but take the reference of the surface or an axis. Axis is also okay. So with the surface reference, I get a circle and a point. I say resolve, fully placed, line, now from here to here, and then you can see that it is snapping onto the axis. I say okay. It is giving me the section on one side. I can say give me on the other side, and I can give a name to the section. I'll name this as say B, enter. So we have created a section called section B. Now let me go to the drawing and get the same section inside here. So I say general view, I say default of here, I say drawing, apply, and sections, 2D cross section, B, and I want the B to be shown in this view, apply, so we get that. So this is how one can manipulate the views and get the drawings, because it should not, it is very easy to create a drawing once your model is correctly done. So it is very important that the model is done correctly, because model is the source for all the subsequent operations. Thank you very much.